Clemie is curled up under a blanket in the dark, the glow of her phone lighting up her face. Her room is quiet, but her screen is loud. Messages flooding our church's WhatsApp group. Praise report, prayer request, laughter over who is bringing jollof to the next potluck. She scrolls and scrolls, then she stops. 3 weeks back, a message sits there like an unanswered letter. Hi family, I'm really sick. Typhoid. Been in bed for days. I could really use prayers. Maybe even a visit. Seen by 47 people. 3 replies. It is well with your soul. Praying says, get well soon. That's all. No follow up, no calls, no knock on a door. Clemie exclaims slowly. The kind of breath you take when something finally clicks. And it hurts. They always said church was family. But families don't disappear the moment you stop showing up. Her fingers override the charge post. She types "I'm out," then deletes it. No drama, no explanation. She exits the group quietly. The screen goes still. 3 weeks earlier, her apartment had smelled like sickness and stale hair. Clemie lay weak in bed, skin hot, body trembling, her phone barely clinging to 2% battery life. A box of tissues sat within reach, already half empty. Zara walked in, carrying a bowl of soup, and took one look at her. You look terrible. Clemie managed a faint smile. Thanks. Very encouraging. Zara set the soup down. Have you eaten today? Clemie shook her head. Can't keep anything down. Did you tell your church people? Zara asked carefully. Maybe someone could pray or bring food. I posted in the church group yesterday, Clemie said. Someone will come. Zara didn't say what she was thinking. She just nodded. No one came. By the third day, Clemie was strong enough to sit up and check her phone properly. No missed calls, no messages. Just the group chat buzzing. Service logistics, rehearsals, announcements. Her disbelief slowly added into something heavier. By the 7th day, her body was healing. But something else wasn't. She sat on her bed, Bible in her hands, then set it down again. 3 years, she whispered. I gave them 3 years. Sunday morning arrived quietly. 8:47 a.m. Our alarm went off. Church in 1 hour. Clemie silenced it and stayed exactly where she was. Zara knocked and peeked in. You're not going? Just today, Zara asked. Or? Zara sat beside her. I know you're hurt, but church matters to you. I thought it did, Clemie said. Turns out I was just a seat filler. The moment I wasn't useful, I vanished. So you're done? Not with God, she said quickly. Just with them. I don't need fake community to know God. Sarah studied her. You always say we are not meant to do life alone. Clemie's voice sharpened. That's when I thought people actually cared. Sarah squeezed her hand and left it there. She didn't argue. Clemie picked up her phone and began cutting ties, unfollowing, muting, unsubscribing. The first month felt like freedom. Sunday mornings became slow and quiet. Coffee on the balcony, Bible open, no rushing, no pretending, just her and God. She watched sermons online and felt fed. She prayed alone and cried real tears. For a while, she believed she was fine. But by the 4th week, the peace thinned. She caught herself scrolling through her old church's Instagram, outreach photos, smiling faces, life going on without her. She closed the app and returned to her Bible, but something felt off. By the 2nd month, her research turned into rabbit holes. One night, she clicked on a video titled Your Breakthrough is Here. The preacher was confident and charismatic. And the Lord is saying, he declared, someone watching me right now has been betrayed by people they trusted. Clemie sat up. If this is you, he said, type it's me. Her fingers hesitated, then typed. A message popped up almost instantly. My daughter, the Lord showed me your face in prayer. Her chest tightened. Someone saw her. Finally. By the 3rd month, Zara noticed. You've been watching this guy for hours, she said one evening. He's anointed, Clemie replied. God is using him. He just asks people to send money for prayer hall. Zara said, it's a seed. For breakthrough, Zara pressed gently. Clem, he drives a Rolls Royce. You wouldn't understand, Clemie snapped. You don't even take God seriously. Zara flinched. Regret came too late. This isn't you, Zara said quietly. This is me, Clemie insisted. Thinking for yourself. Zara shook her head. Looks like you just traded a church for one man on the internet. Clemie walked away. By the fourth month, her Bible stayed closed. Dust gathered. Her phone didn't. She scrolled through Christian TikTok, short sermons, prophecies, sound bites. Hours disappeared. Her devotion alarm rang. She snoozed it, and somewhere deep down, she knew the truth. She wasn't seeking God anymore. She was avoiding him. At 11:34 p.m., Clemie sits cross-legged on her bed. The room dark except for the glow of her laptop. On the screen is Apostle Dio. His office looked like wealth dressed as holiness. Gold accent, polished wood, a thick Bible resting neatly on the desk. He smiled like a man used to being trusted. The Lord woke me up at 3 a.m. with your name heavy on my spirit, he says. Clemie leans closer to the screen. Her heart lifts. Really? Yes, he replies, nodding slowly. And he showed me something big, a financial breakthrough, a door opening, and there is a blockage. Her chest tightens. What kind of blockage? Spiritual, he says calmly. There are people assigned against your destiny. People who would betrayed you. They are speaking against your progress. Her mind jumps instantly to her church. What do I do? She asks, almost whispering. We must break it, he says. But this level of warfare requires a sacrifice. A significant seed. 500,000 naira. The number lands heavily. That's almost all my savings, Clemie says. He smiles, gentle now. Exactly. Abraham didn't give God his second best. He gave Isaac his everything. This is yours. Sow it, and within 7 days, you will see double. Fear and hope wrestle inside her. Can I pray about it? She asks. His tone shifts, just slightly. When God speaks, delay is disobedience. Doors like this don't stay open forever. Her throat tightens. I'll send it tomorrow, she says. Good, he replies warmly. You are stepping into your season. The call ends. Clemie sits alone in the dark, heart racing. The next morning, a finger hovers confirm 500,000 naira. Zara walks into the kitchen and freezes. Clem, what are you doing? Nothing, Clemie says quickly, tilting the laptop. Zara steps closer and sees the transfer page. To who? She asks sharply. It's a seed, Clemie says, for my breakthrough. A seed? Zara's voice rises. That's a scam. You don't understand spiritual things. I understand the con. Zara snaps. This man is playing you. He's been there for me when no one else was. Clemie shouts. He sees me. He sees your money, Zara says. You left church because people didn't show up. And now you're about to give $500,000 to a stranger who told you you are special? At least he believes in me, cries Clemie. I believe in you, Zara says, her voice breaking. But this isn't fate. It's desperation. Clemie grabs her laptop and storms out, slamming the door behind her. Zara is left alone in the kitchen, shaking. Hours later, Clemie sits on her bed, staring at the screen again. Her hands tremble as she types, Apostle Dio's scam. The results flood in. Fraud allegations, victims speaking out, identical stories. Her stomach drops as she reads. Double return in 7 days. Never heard from him again. He targets lonely women. Clemie closes the laptop, deletes the number, blocks him everywhere. Then she breaks. What is wrong with me? She sobs into the silence. How did I get here? There is no answer, only her breathing. A week later, she loses her job. Her words barely registered as her boss explains declining performance, missed deadlines, a lost client. By evening, she's on the floor of her apartment, numb. She opens her Bible app, can't focus, tries to pray. Nothing comes. I can't do this alone, she whispers. The knock comes the next afternoon. She ignores it. Another knock. Clemie, it's Adanna. Church. She opens the door just enough to see her. Simple clothes, warm eyes, a cooler bag in her hands. I brought jollof, Adana says, and plantain. Clemie lets her in. They talk, slowly, carefully. Adana tells her story, how she left church once too, how isolation nearly destroyed her. I'm here because I saw you, Adana says, and I won't let you drown. Something inside Clemie finally gives way. That night, over jollof, Clemie confesses everything: the fake prophet, the money she almost sent, the guilt, the silence. Adana listens without judgment. Faith is personal, she says softly, but it was never meant to be private. The next morning, Clemie opens her Bible for the first time in weeks. The verse feels like a hand reaching out. The first coffee meeting is awkward. They sit across from each other, cups growing cold between them, both pretending not to notice how careful Clemie is being, how she measures every word. Adana breaks the silence. How are you? She asks, then adds, and I don't want the fine answer. Clemie hesitates. The truth feels risky. I'm angry, she admits finally. At the church, at myself, sometimes at God. Adana nods, unfazed. Good. Clemie blinks. Good? Yes, Adana says gently. Honesty is good. God can handle your anger. He's big enough. Something loosens inside Clemie. She exhales, deeply, like she's been holding her breath for months. By the second week, the tension had softened. A different cafe this time. Different chairs, same two women. I've been reading again, Clemie says. Just a little. Psalms mostly. Adana grins. The angry ones or the happy ones? The angry ones, Clemie says, smiling for real now. David was very upset. Makes me feel less crazy. Adana laughs. Right? David was out here yelling at God, and we act like questioning him is disrespectful. Clemie feels seen. By the third week, they are sitting on a park bench, sunlight warming their faces. I got a job interview, Clemie says. Freelance, small, but that's huge, Adana says. How do you feel? Terrified, Clemie admits, then pauses, but hopeful. Is that allowed? Adana smiles. That's progress. They sit in easy silence, no pressure to feel it. For the first time, Clemie realizes something important. Community isn't a building, it's people who show up, and Adana keeps showing up. A month later, Clemie and Zara sit on their couch, sharing ice cream straight from the tub. You seem different, Zara says. Better. Zara glances at her. Is it Adana? Clemie nods. She's been what I needed. Zara swallows. I'm sorry I wasn't enough. Clemie turns fully towards her. Zara, stop. I mean it, Zara says quietly. I didn't know how to help you spiritually. I just joked and hoped you'd snap out of it. Clemie takes her hand. You saved me from sending 500,000 naira to a scammer. You fed me when I couldn't get out of bed. You protected me. You were enough. Zara's eyes fill. I was jealous of your faith, she admits. Even when it was breaking you, you believed in something. Clemie smiles softly. You believe in showing up, in truth, in love. That's more faith than a lot of people who sit in church every Sunday. Zara laughs through tears. Don't make me cry. Clemie pulls her into a hug. You are the best sister I could ever ask for. 6 weeks in, Clemie finds herself sitting in Adana's living room with other women. They talk about fear, exhaustion, divorce, custody battles, prayers that feel unanswered. When it's Clemie's turn, she doesn't hide. I'm still angry at my old church, she says, and I feel guilty for that. Adana meets her eyes. Forgiveness isn't a switch, it's a process, and you're in it. That's enough. Something releases inside Clemie. Permission to not be healed yet. They pray, not polished prayers, messy ones, overlapping words, tears, For the first time in a long time, Clemie feels God. Not loud, not dramatic, but present. A few months later, in a grocery store aisle, she sees an unexpected face. Pastor Helen, the woman who never came when Clemie was sick. I'm sorry, Pastor Helen says, tears in her eyes. We failed you. No excuses, no deflection, just the truth. Clemie isn't ready to forgive completely, but the apology matters. It's losing something tight in her chest. Maybe that's just the beginning of healing, she thought. That night, Clemie journals until her hands ache. She writes one sentence and circles it. Community isn't about being seen, it's about being known. She opens her Bible and reads about cords that don't break easily. I get it now, she whispers.